Hello, we are Eat This, Drink That. We got another riveting episode on Tiki drinks this week with Ali Khan, Steve Greer, and myself, Ryan Crosby. Let's jump right in with Steve Greer's drink of the week for Tiki.
All right, it's gonna be fun. So what is this? The second episode of Tiki Technique.
Tiki Madness.
We're buzzing.
You can really go back to the other episode for a little deeper dive of Tiki drinks. But Tiki culture was created by Don the Beachcomber and Trader Vic in the 30s in California. It's a whole culture outside of the fact that, they stole a lot of this from both Polynesia and Caribbean. We're going to do something they both claim to have created, the Mai Tai. So Tahitian for good or excellent. I'm not sure if it's the actual translation or maybe they just made the word up, but Don the Beachcomber in LA and Trader Vic both say they created the Mai Tai. This is a little simpler than the last cocktail that we made, which was the Singapore Sling with gin that had 6 ingredients. This really just has 4 with a float. So we'll call it 4 plus the dark rum float. It's really 5 ingredients. We're now fully engaged in rum. The rest of our tiki cocktails, and I think we're going to have 2 more episodes, are rum based. So let's talk about rum. I'm using a clear rum or a white rum or a silver. I chose Plantation. This is a 3-star. They also make a 5-star. It is a blend of 3 different islands. So Jamaica, Barbados, Trinidad. This is my personal favorite for cocktails. Smith & Cross, traditional Jamaican rum. It's pot still. This is ridiculous. Especially, it's really good. And then I'm going to show you, we're not going to be making cocktails for this, but I want you to understand there's such a range to rum. You don't have to buy crap. Don't buy crappy rum. This actually is a sipper. This is all Jamaican. This is all Jamaican. It's bottled by someone else, aged. This is 1997. So I think this was aged for 18 years. Doesn't say. I'll have to go back and look. This is a sipper. You can throw it on the rocks and sip. You can make a bomb cocktail with this if you want. There's no reason why you can't. So here's the differences. It's really simple, even though the range of flavors and quality is vast. Just as many islands, that's how many different qualities. So it is the spirit of the British colonies. They do make Navy strength. We're not playing around with high proof, although down the road, we're going to have one cocktail that goes with 151. Here's the thing. There are no laws regulating this outside of Martinique, which is the rum agricole it's the only AOC outside of France that governs the quality levels of rum produced in Martinique. Oh. Outside of that, there are no laws. So it's willy-nilly. You can do whatever you want. That's why there's also a range of quality. It's either sugarcane juice or molasses. And molasses can be refined sugarcane, but it also can be refined beet juice. And that's gross. Then style-wise, you have white, which is unaged. You have dark, which is aged. Usually that's also a pot still, so it's a richer distillate. Golden or Puerto Rican gold, that's just slight oak aged. And then you have the different countries. So your choices are fast or slow fermentation. Fast means it's just going to be really clear and clean and just simple. It's going to have more confectioner sugar flavors. And then slow means a rich, heady spirit is going to come from that. And then a column still, which is fast, pot still, which is a little slow. You get a range from confectioner sugar all the way to high ester, which can be banana and acetone. I mean, in a good way, which is what that Smith & Cross is. So let's make the cocktail because this is really simple. There are some things here that might throw you for a little bit. Orgeat. So it is almond liqueur.
Oh.
You probably have seen this at. Yeah, you got to have
Here
one.
we go. Here we go. Here we go.
This is
Almond
liqueur.
Liqueur.
That's it. That's all it is. This one actually is almond syrup. We will be using an almond liqueur in a couple episodes called falernum. So this has no alcohol. This is just almond syrup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I misspoke. It's not almond liqueur. It's almond syrup. But this is a super simple cocktail. White rum, cointreau. Back to our orange liqueur.
Back to Cointreau.
I will talk about this a little bit because I really was trying to find something else. I wanted something with less sugar. It's called, let's talk about it right now, Curacao. So the Dutch had this, they brought Curacao, or they started distillate from the local oranges. I think the Spanish actually brought Seville oranges to the island. It crossed, it became something else. It's a very bitter orange. So you use it to flavor liqueurs. There's one from Pierre Ferrand called Dry Curacao. They don't add sugar to it. It's cognac based with these oranges that flavor without sugar. Cointreau has a lot of sugar in it. I couldn't find it in Denver, so I didn't buy it. So white rum, Cointreau, lime juice, and orgeat. That's it. Then we're going to float a little bit of that funky Jamaican rum on top. So this is really just
double rum.
Yeah, we're going double rum, baby.
So is the floater? Quick question: the floater. Don't a lot of people use like Myers rum?
Yeah,
that's a pretty
rum.
standard.
Yeah. That's got it's got a lot less flavor than this. This is funk, and that's probably got a little more sugar in it.
It's dark. I just know that it's pretty dark.
Yeah, and that I'm assuming Myers Dark also adds caramel for consistency of color, which is common in the spirits world. What you got?
I feel like this is a perfect opportunity because, first of all, those bottles look pretty dope. I mean, let's throw it out there. Those labels look serious. Myers is, I think I have Myers I have Myers and Mount Gay like sitting around. I don't know.
Right. Those are kind of the generic ones, I would say.
Yeah,
right?
You see them, right? So how much of these show, if you could just give us the price, because I feel like I'm interested in investing in trying that out.
Yeah, I think this plantation was 35. This is the 3 stars, so the 3 different islands. Think of rums as marks. So you got a mark that comes from Jamaica that's more banana and high esters and high aromatics. Barbados and Trinidad. So that's the name they talk about with the spirit that comes out of Jamaican rums. It's a high ester rum. So lots of organic compounds that have all these flavors attached to them. And they can range from banana all the way up to that acetone nail polish. Those are esters. They're just aromatics.
It's insane that he brings that up.
Yeah.
Acetone, nail polish. Yeah. Dude, that sounds like a horrible way to sell anything.
Yeah.
Are you getting the nail polish?
Yeah.
I am. I'm blind. Thank you.
Yeah. But it's all in a good way. Jesus. I absolutely love this rum. It is a double rum drink. We got to remind everybody. We're trying to limit the amount of sugar. So everything is fresh. Obviously, I didn't make fresh almond syrup. That's going to have the most sugar. Well, Cointreau might have a lot of comparable sugar levels. We also are higher quality rums are less apt to have a lot of sugar in them, like a Myers Dark that's using caramel to... Remember, there's no regulations on rum. You can pretty much do whatever you want. Yeah.
Wow. That's what's up. That's a good clue into why things cost, or why it's important to spend more. Yeah. How much is that dark rum?
I can't remember. Ryan, are you able to look up Smith & Cross rum for me? Because
absolutely.
I have forgotten completely how much that cost. I'm going to start making the cocktail while you're looking that up. So I just
Good.
have my shaker with one piece of
35,
shaker ice.
Ollie, 35.
Yeah. I thought
It's
these were both
35
around
also.
$40. Yeah. Yeah.
Three's not a big deal. I don't think
It's not
a
that
big
much.
deal at all.
And remember, we're only using 1.5 of the white rum. So what is that? 18 drinks out of there. Cointreau,
Yeah.
3/4 lime and orgeat, 3/4 lime, half orgeat, and then we're gonna float some dark rum. So floating is a highly variable thing. You can dump in a whole lot. You can just float it on top. I'm just gonna literally float it. So we're not gonna go another half ounce, but we're close to 2 ounces of rum right out of the gate. I'm also using a rocks
Make
glass.
this thing.
Yeah, so rocks glass,
Mm.
and
Let's make it.
we're going next level on the ice. I did pellet ice, crushed
Really?
ice. Yeah. So I don't have. A long time ago, I worked at a bar and we had a pellet or a crushed ice machine that sounded like a wood chipper, and you just threw in ice and it came out just like cake. I didn't do quite like that. I just threw a bunch of ice cubes in a tea towel and pounded it with a hammer. So it's not uniform, but it is crushed ice. And I'm going to fill my glass with this crushed
I'm
ice.
trying to remember this place in the San Gabriel Valley. They had these aquariums. They had like 100 aquariums, and I had a birthday party there for Tiki Drinks, and I think they did kind of a snowy ice, like what Steve was talking about.
Yep.
That's how they
Yep.
made their drinks. It was, and but then I'm glad we're using the kind of the shredded ice, because I feel like I've had a lot of my tiki drinks with the ice is pretty small
Correct.
pieces typically.
Yeah. Not all of them. So you'll remember with the Singapore Sleen, I just had regular ice cubes in a Collins glass.
Right.
I'm not going knee deep in the tiki culture with finding the right tiki man, Polynesian face glassware. I think these drinks deserve a little bit of elevation. You don't have to go crazy. We're talking fresh juices, quality ingredients, nice glassware. You can camp out with this and then go over the top and just find vintage tiki glassware and all that stuff. It's fun. I did not do that. Plantation. So we're going to go 1.5 of the silver rum, 1.5 ounce.
Okay.
I'm going into a shaker with my shaker ice. Then 3/4 ounces of Cointreau. You can play around with this. You can buy a Curacao. You can buy that dry Curacao from Pierre Ferron.
It's funny. I have some too. I don't know. I don't know how it ended up, or somebody was like, "I'm making this," and I'm like, "Okay." So I've got one sitting around. Cool.
Oh, nice. Then we're going to go 3/4 ounces of lime juice. I buy a bunch of these. I got a case of these little things. You can use them for all kinds of uses, bartending, cooking, everything. They're fun to have.
As long as there's no ketchup or mustard in there, I think.
No,
Yeah.
that'd be
Oh
gross.
my god, I'm gonna use my old French's. Just mess it all up.
And then 1/2 ounce orgeat almond syrup.
So do you buy that stuff? You gotta go buy almond syrup?
And
is there any alternative?
No, so just buy the stuff that they use at coffee shops. I can't remember the name of it. You've seen them lined up against the back wall. Same company.
That red and blue.
Yeah,
it looks like
label.
this.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
you can do I think it's called Simple Foods. There is a really high-end orgeat almond syrup that comes in a really skinny bottle. It's a lot more money. It's more expensive. The ones that I'm referring to, I wish I could remember the brand name. The ones that are at coffee shops, they're going to have more sugar in them. We're using a little less. We're only using 1/2 ounce of this. So we're getting an almond flavor profile without all that extra sugar. Now we're going to shake. And you guys remember the rules on shaking with juices? 30 seconds. 30 seconds, and we're really trying to get texture, and the temperature goes down. I'm not doing a full 30. I know. I just figure the listeners really don't want to listen to 30 seconds of shaking. So remember, I'm using the Parisian shaker. So all you got to do is take the cap off. Boom. So I planned this on the glasses. I know how much my glass holds. I know how much ice. I know how much liquid. That's why it looks that good. Then I'm going to top it.
So when you shook that,
go ahead.
When you shook that, there was an ice cube in there, correct?
Yeah. Yep. So that's lowering the temperature. It's also diluting it because some of those ice crystals are coming off of the cube that's in the glass. That's why you don't use shitty ice or crappy ice in a shaking tin, because more ice will come off. You don't want that. Now, here's the Mai Tai minus the dark rum. I'm using Jamaican because I like weird and funky, and Jamaican rum is weird and funky. And I'm not going too crazy. I'm just going to just a little hint of color. But you can.
Sweet.
So you open 3 rums right next to each other: a silver, a gold, or 151, and a Jamaican. All you can smell is the Jamaican without even putting your nose down in the glass. And then I like mint, a little sprig of mint. So you'll notice mine isn't that dark. I didn't use like a heavy dark rum that's probably got a lot of caramel in it. I like the funk.
Yeah,
and a lot of Mai Tais that are made are kind of more yellow than yours. Yours is a much lighter color.
Yeah.
Probably because of the good ingredients that you're using.
I didn't go full Meyer dark rum. I just went with a pot still.
That's what I was gonna say. I think the Meyer adds to the color.
Mm-hmm. And they're probably
I have to say.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, really, because, when we started this with the Singapore slang, it was a gin. And when I brought up, like, oh my God, tiki tiki drinks, and I got so hammered, I'm realizing, like, I don't think I've ever had good rum. I don't think I've ever had good rum.
It's always Bacardi or,
Yeah, like, I don't, you just. I think I've just and understanding that there is no regulation just makes you go, yeah, you could get some real bottom shelf. The bottom is in the basement. You know, like that's a.
So I love Mai Tais for this reason, especially with quality ingredients. If you're using funky rum, Jamaican, then that almond liqueur with a hint of the orange, it is a really heady drink if you're using Jamaican rums. So you're getting all the banana and esters and that funk and a little bit of acetone, which is a good thing, followed by this warming. Well, and it's warming just because of 2 spirits are in this glass. And then this almond syrup comes behind with a little hint of the oranges. This is just a really fun but complex cocktail. There's only 5 ingredients in this.
Yeah. I've never had one that's like that. That's for sure. Mine are always like yellow, and there's a cherry in there, and there's Myers rum, and it's just I've never had one made like that.
Honestly,
you know what? Real quick,
this
just to follow. Hold on 1 second to follow up real quick, Ali. They're probably adding grenadine. I don't add grenadine to the Mai Tai, to that red. So you get the darkness from a really dark rum, and the grenadine changes the color completely. Sorry, Ali, go right ahead.
Well, it's so funny because, of course, part of me was like, oh, I kind of wish you did have the the funny glass. You know what I mean? The totem pole. But at the same time, like you're now realizing it's all smoke and mirrors that can, it doesn't have to, but can completely mask crappy alcohol. To which, I mean, basically, like of all these drinks you're talking about, I
Right.
don't think people realize, how low end a Mai Tai can be if you're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
using better alcohol. And even just to appreciate what a good one could look like. I'm not saying it has to look exactly like that. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm now just obsessed with like, because again, I've never really had a good one. I don't think I'm gonna say it's a clean slate. I've never really had a proper Mai Tai, so I have to now make one. But I'm still probing, like, what does one have with, these exotic flavors? Like, you're talking about freaking booze that tastes like banana. I'm not gonna touch the acetone thing. You're insane, and we know that. And we're not even gonna talk about nail polish in a good way. Not even touching that. But Crosby, what do you think? Like, what would you be noshing on? Because let's be honest, this is a strong cocktail. It's not a bad idea to have something to snack on at least, right? What would you eat with this?
I think there's always something sugary going on. It always feels like there's a glazed meat, or like,
Mm,
and maybe this is the over
yeah,
commercialization thing that Steve talked about, but like, you're having this really sugary drink, and then you start having this like sugary meat, and it kind of works for some weird reason. But
yeah.
I would love to not have that. I'd love to find an option. Maybe it is just a good carne without all the sugar added or something. But it's almost like when you go tiki, you're just going all out. It's just full
Yeah.
ignorance.
It is like teriyaki sauce.
Yeah.
It
Right.
is like, I mean, I was thinking about hoisin glazed ribs or like Chinese barbecue might be a good kind of middle ground but it's weird. It's hard to, it's heavy and you're like, I almost think of fried rice as well. And it does play into what I think they were putting out with tiki food. I do think about Filipino food. And which also delves into this, like lumpias, those dope fried stuffed
Hmm.
meaty egg rolls,
Yeah.
adobo. For some reason, Filipino food, sisig, which is like that pork belly with, I think it's so funny. Classic Greer, funneling our need to eat pork, rich
Yeah.
heaviness.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that for some reason, Filipino food, which is heavy, comes into mind as well as Chinese barbecue.
Maybe some
Yeah.
Vietnamese food would be good.
To break it
Something.
up, maybe, yeah.
Maybe, yeah. A little
And
It's
different.
fried
weird though
foods.
because it is a heavy beer.
Fried
Fried,
foods.
Fried. Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah,
think about
yeah.
this.
I
Maybe.
found that restaurant. Oh, sorry.
I've never seen an old school Trader Vic's menu, but it was a Chinese restaurant that served Polynesian cocktails with all Caribbean ingredients. It was a complete
Mm.
mishmash of insanity. Although pineapples don't come from
Yeah,
the Caribbean, do they? Where do the pineapples come from? I don't know.
I mean, at some point, I'm
There,
sure it was just
Hawaii. There's a lot of them
yeah,
in Hawaii.
yeah,
Oh, okay. Yeah, there we go. So one
yeah,
Polynesian
yeah,
ingredient. Everything
yeah.
else is from the Caribbean. By the way, sipping this. This is the first time I haven't used the really nice. I think it's Simple Foods. It's a high quality almond syrup orgeat. Um, I might even use a little less. This has a little sweetness to me. I might cut this down to like a quarter ounce of orgeat of this producer
Mhm.
and up the rums a little bit. I might go to 2 ounces of white rum and a heavier float of dark rum. Either
Uh-huh.
or. I'm not going to do both, but I could either cut the orgeat. It's just, I get the confectioner sugar on the end of this a little too much for me. Everything else is great.
Okay.
I pulled up the Trader Vic's menu. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Crab rangoon with
Yeah.
prawn. We got barbecue pork spare ribs. We got kung pao wings. We have Malaysian chicken skewers. We have beef go-go. What else? Crispy calamari. So there's the fried food.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Veggie rolls, egg rolls, crispy duck tacos.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and then Hawaiian ahi poke
Okay.
and oysters on the half shell. That's their those are their apps.
Nice.
So that's a lot of Asian influence stuff and
You know,
almost
I
every
think
meat.
hopefully we revisit this, and I think I would just, in the spirit of Trader Vic's, I'd just start throwing stuff against the wall and be like, I would literally try 3 different directions of a food to be like, I think this could work with it, and I'll have to try the drink, and but yeah, that Smith and Cross, like that bottle, that's gonna be a purchase for sure, and I
It's
have
so good.
Curacao, so this is good. I'm just looking to get rid of some of these weird bottles. And
Yeah.
I have tons of cointreau. So good
Yeah.
to know. Good to know.
Well, this was great.
All right.
The Mai Tai. Mai Tai.
This is the Mai Tai. Means
I was gonna say
excellent.
I found the restaurant that I was referring to. It was called Bahuka Lounge, and it was deep in the San Gabriel Valley, and they had maybe 100 to 200 aquariums, and they had this famous fish called Rufus that was in a bunch of movies. I feel like he was in a Sandler movie, or there's this big fish that was there, and he was a movie star fish. And yeah, I had my birthday party there one year, and it was a shit show. It was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bahuka Lounge, and they had I think they had the snowy ice, so it almost was like an icy or something from 7-Eleven or something. That's what I meant to say.
I've had tiki parties. It can go downhill very fast. I mean,
It's a crazy. It's weird. It's weird.
I think these days everyone would have to get hopped up on Adderall or something first, just to stay awake. We had to keep it modern.
Yeah, it's something else. It's something else. I don't know. It's a weird conundrum. But you did show us how to do a Mai Tai right.
Yeah, this is Mai Tai.
That's for
Let's wrap this one up. Steve, the classic, the Mai Tai, looking different than we expected, and now we want to try it.
No gimmicks. It's gimmick free, and I like that.
Low in sugar, sort of.
Yeah.
All right, thank you guys for this episode. We're gonna be back with another Tiki one. See you soon.
See ya.